everybody, welcome back to my channel, Fixing It Up with Sandra. In case you're new here, I'm Sandra, and today we're gonna play with one of my favorite things to do now. I've really gotten into this melt and pour soap thing. I'm gonna answer some more questions that I get off of some of my videos that I've shared, which are really, really good questions because, you know, I've learned so much when it comes to melt and pour soap. Finding melt and pour soap that doesn't sweat. And I'll get more into that, but if you know, you know. And so, and I figured out, well, I found soaps where you can do additives, and I've, really looked into like how much you can add to these melt and pour soaps and so on and so forth. So anyways, today I am going to make 3 different types of melt and pour soap, just to give you an idea of what you can do with melt and pour soap. Let's see how many times I can say melt and pour soap in this video. So anyways, we're gonna do a pink Himalayan salt soap. We're working with goat milk soap, and we're gonna do that with cashmere petals and mahogany shea, which is a really beautiful, soft scent, almost like, I don't know, like a baby lotion, not Johnson & Johnson's because that's a little strong, but just very soft, feminine, floral. And then we're gonna do a lavender and bamboo goat milk soap. And then we're gonna do a orange fragrance with orange peel. Now, I chose orange peel because in the soap, I want it to really pop. I want you to be able to see the flecks of the orange peel. I do use orange peel powder in one of my shower bombs, not a bath bomb, a shower bomb. You actually use this on your body. The orange peel powder is so fine, but it is such a great exfoliant. It's very soft, it's very fine, but it does the job. So you could use that on your face and not have it be as coarse as like a pink Himalayan salt, or a lot of facial scrubs are made with nutshells. And so orange peel powder is incredible. I've even added it to my face wash, just do like a little, tidbit to your face wash, and it's a great exfoliant. To me, it's similar to like a microdermabrasion. But anyways, so I got orange peel granulants, which are just a little bit thicker, but still, I haven't tried it yet, but I hope it still gives that soap that really soft texture that will not, be as rough as the pink Himalayan salt. So anyways, we're gonna get started. We're gonna cut the soap up. We're gonna talk a little bit about it as we go. So just hang tight with me and let's get these started. All right, so I'm gonna show you everything that I am working with. So first and foremost, where I get my soap is from Wholesale Supply Plus. I absolutely love all of the soaps that I get from there. I have worked with soap from Brambleberry and Primal Elements. This by far is my favorite. So here is the exact soap that I'm working with. Now, they have, Wholesale Supply Plus has several different types of melt and pour soaps. You can get olive oil and aloe, you can get goat's milk, you can get clear, you can get honey, you can get oatmeal, all kinds of soaps. The one thing that I absolutely love about Wholesale Supply Plus is that there's different levels of each soap. So there's like your basic goat's milk soap, then there's like the middle one, and then there's like the premium. So you can determine which one works best for you. Everything is in the description, so it'll tell you what the difference is between that, the premium and the middle one or the lower one. All that information is on their website. Even better, if you're like, I don't know about melt and pour soap because, it's just something that I question. With this, you can see how it's made. They have videos that show you how each soap is made, and it can, I guess, answer a lot of your questions when it comes to these melt and pour soaps. So they're poured directly into these bags. And so today, this is what we're working with. And I am going to just cut this up into smaller chunks. and then we will go from there. And I do love the feel of goat's milk soap. You know, I've always said someday I hope to be making soap, cold processed soap from scratch. I hope to be making this all on my own at some point next year. And so in the meantime, I do rely on these beautiful soaps. I'm just gonna pull this apart. All right. And you can see why it's sometimes like the plastic's embedded into this soap. It's because they pour the liquid soap directly into these bags. Now, with each soap that you get or that you are looking at, it will tell you if it's low sweat, high sweat, medium sweat, what can cause the sweat, which means, like right now, I'm just gonna show you a piece. So there's no beaded moisture on here whatsoever. Now, after you've melted and poured it and added whatever you want to it, then sometimes after it solidifies, you'll come back and you'll see like beads of moisture on this. It doesn't mean that you did something wrong or anything like that. It's simply, that's just how the soap works. It's just part of this particular soap. You can get low sweat soap, meaning it will not beat up afterwards. I wrap my soaps in a shrink wrap just because I don't, there are people that make soap and wrap it just in, you know, ribbon, which is very beautiful, or, you know, do a band around it. I am such a person that is like, I don't know about people touching the soap and then somebody else purchasing it. So I like to wrap it in shrink wrap, and I don't deal with sweat. And also, each soap, but for the most part, what I saw, what I was reading is that their melt and pour soap on Wholesale Supply Plus can hold up to 6% additives. That includes your fragrance oil. So if you're doing 5% fragrance oil, you only have 1% to add maybe an oil or a butter to your soap. So when picking out your soap that you want to use for melt and pour, make sure that it's something that you already, that its main ingredient is what you're looking for. So like if you're like, oh, I want to add shea butter, they have shea butter melt and pour soap, and then you can add the 6% fragrance to this. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so you want to make sure that you are reading all of the directions, read people's comments on here, really get to understand the soap, because I'm telling you, it, and anybody who's worked with melt and pour soap as well, it is not cheap. It is not cheap to purchase melt and pour soap. So you don't want to get something and then not understand that you can only add 6%, and you've added 6% shea butter, and then maybe you added 5% fragrance oils, and you wonder why your soap is not performing the way that you want it to. So with, and again, like I've really read up on this stuff, and when you add oils and butters, it can affect the lather on here. I did have somebody mention that their melt and pour soap, when they made it, when they used it, it disintegrated, like it just, they used it up really, really quick, and which is unfortunate. However, I know personally, working with melt and pour soap that I get from Wholesale Supply Plus, it lasts forever. I have a bar behind me. It is a watermelon, like, oh gosh, those little rings that you, a floaty ring. And I made this at least 2 months ago. I am still working on that bar here, and it's in the kitchen. I wash my hands multiple times a day in this kitchen, and it is still, I mean, I still have quite a bit of it left. So again, make sure that you're reading the comments to see how the soap that you're going to purchase performs. And so now we're just going to go ahead, now that I got some of this cut up, we're going to go ahead and measure and then get this melted. Okay, so with this, I've got it cut up into little pieces. I like to use my glass measuring cup to initially melt the soap. Then when I add fragrance, I use these measuring cups that I get from the Dollar Tree. I don't like having, hold on. Oh. 1 second. Okay. I don't like having fragrance in any of my glass dishes. And we're gonna go ahead, I cut up just enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and tuck this over to the side. I'm gonna show you what we're working with. So we're gonna use 1 plastic measuring cup. Set this to the side. I've got my silicone whisk, and I do like to give away samples at my shop. And so this is my sample soap silicone mold. I use this with all of my soap projects. So that's just gonna sit right here. And then I have a 6 bar, these make 4-ounce bars. I have a 6 bar mold right here. You can use a loaf mold. I have them, and just to let you know, when you see somebody make cold processed soap and they do like the little whipped top and it's so beautiful, that is not what you can do with melt and pour soap. That is not going to happen. It's going to form, when you pour it into that mold, it's going to immediately form a skin and then solidify from the outside inward. And so you're not going to be able to do the cute top because you're just going to be tearing up that skin. It's, believe me, I've tried so many times. And so, but they do have loaf molds on Amazon with a beautiful silicone bottom, which would eventually be your top, that has like designs. Check them out on Amazon. I just discovered this. I was so excited. So I might be getting one of those, but until I do, this is the way we're gonna go. So I'm gonna go ahead and spritz my molds. I have 3 of them because, like I said, we're gonna do multiple soaps. With some isopropyl alcohol. I'm using 99%. And I've weighed out my melt and pour soap, and we're going to do, I think we're gonna work with the lavender. So let's go ahead and pop this in the microwave in 30-second intervals until it's completely melted, and then I'll be right back. All right, so my goat's milk soap is already melted and in my plastic container. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add fragrance oils. I am not using an essential oil, just to make that very, very clear. All right, so we're gonna add that. And I thought about adding coloring using mica, but I'm actually going to leave this soap white. I think it'd be really pretty with the contrast of the, oh my gosh, sorry guys, my lavender petals. Between menopause and, like I've said, my chemo treatments that I've had about 1.5 years ago, my memory has just been not the best. And sometimes like I can't, like the words just don't come out, which is super annoying. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and mix some of these lavender petals into the soap. Now, when it comes to additives like flowers and glitter and all that, that is not included in the 6%. What they're talking about when they say the 6% is, you know, oils, butters, fragrance oils, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this mixed, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into my mold. I'm gonna try to get this on camera. Let's scooch this kind of stuff over. I've already sprayed it with the isopropyl alcohol, okay? And we're just gonna, and the lavender petals will try to float to the top. I have to constantly stir it because I want it to mix. Even if they float to the top after I pour it in, that's fine, but sometimes if you don't keep stirring like this, like one soap will have no lavender and the other soap will have all the lavender. Okay. All right, let's just. Let's just top these off. And I do have little bubbles on top. And I have just enough maybe to make one sample, which is fine. Sometimes I do like sample boxes at my shop, and I'll include like these little things. All right, there we go. Now this should take, and actually let me bring you over here so you can see what I've done. All right, so this is how the soap looks. We've got it filled all the way to the top. And like I said, these are gonna be 4-ounce bars. And then I have the one sample right here. Because there's enough, you know, lavender floating around, I'm not gonna sprinkle it with any extra lavender, you know, from here. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it this way, and then we're gonna work on our other 2 soaps in just a minute. All right, so now we're on to our second batch, which is gonna be the orange. And I've already melted the soap in the microwave. And I do have to say, one of the things that I really like about the soap that I get from Wholesale Supply Plus, I have time to work with it. Like I said, I've used other soaps before, and one time I did use brambleberry soap. It solidified faster than I could get everything done, you know, like coloring and additives and all that other fun stuff. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of mica just to have it get a little tint of orange. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna add my fragrance to this, which is a beautiful orange. All right, we're gonna, oh gosh, I love that smell. So we're gonna go ahead and mix this together. And the fragrance oil already had like a yellowish color to it. So it's made, the camera's not picking up this beautiful orange color, but it's a very pastel orange. All right, now we're gonna add, let me see if I can, so these are the orange granulates that I got. I got this off of Amazon, and I will put links. I'm gonna go ahead, stick into my gloves. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm actually gonna grab one of these little cups. All right. Because I want this to be, I'm not measuring, I'm just going by sight. And I want this to have enough orange peel in it where you feel like it's doing some exfoliation for you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stir that. And again, we're gonna pour it into our, I'm gonna take this and sit it over here. Since we're done with that, move this out of the way. Let me see if I can bring the camera over. So much better. All right, so here's what happens if you don't keep stirring. Everything will float to the top. So I'm gonna keep stirring while I pour into, oh my gosh, the smell is incredible. It has like the perfect, like citrus tartness that you would want when you smell citrus. And believe me, I've worked with some fragrance oils that claim that they're citrus, and I think not. This one is from Nature's Soap, if you're interested in which fragrance oil this is. Okay. Oh, I couldn't be more happier with how these are turning out. I hope I can get a sample for me. Just not even a whole sample. That's okay. That's okay. It smells beautiful. Now we're going to spritz the top to get rid of those air bubbles. And this one did overflow. It's okay. You can take off that side once it solidifies. Now we have one more soap to do. That's the Cashmere Petals and Mahogany Shea. All right, we're on to our last one. And we're gonna do Mahogany Shea and Cashmere Petals. So this is a very beautiful, like I said, soft scent. And And then we're gonna use pink Himalayan salt. This is what we're gonna use right here. It is very coarse. This is what I use in my bath salts. And I'm gonna use, no, that's too light. I wanna use a very, very soft pink. Okay. Here. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. I love the smell of shea. And this mahogany shea is absolutely perfect. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and mix this. Okay, that's the beautiful pink that I was looking for. And if you are looking to make your holiday gifts this year, this is a great way to make a gift. And if you have so this 10-pound block was roughly $55. And I think there was like a handling fee. There was free shipping through Wholesale Supply Plus. And so far we've made 6, 12, 18 bars, and I still have, quite a bit left of the soap. So if you're looking to make something and you want to make something that's, somewhat affordable, but actually I'm not going to stir this in. I'm going to sprinkle this in. I'm not going to stir this one in. Okay, so let me go ahead and make sure there's something right here on it. This is somewhat affordable, simple, to do. Everybody loves a really beautiful bar of soap. And so I can highly recommend this for gifts. And if you're someone like me that sometimes forgets, birthdays or whatever, if you happen to have some melt and pour soap left over from whenever, you can be like, oh, I can make them a really cute, gift with this, and maybe some, like a little cute sponge or whatever, or loofah, or bath scrubby, and voila, it's a handmade gift, and it looks like you put so much effort into it. And I don't know, people just love that stuff. At least I do, and my friends do. We all appreciate a very thoughtful homemade gift, no matter how long it took. So I'm just filling up the bars right here. All right, I'm just trying to concentrate a little bit. All right, so now is when I'm going to sprinkle on the soap. And because of the heaviness, this is probably going to solidify on the bottom. So, and maybe I shouldn't have filled them so much because I forgot about the weight of the soap making this rise. Oh well. You can always fix it once it solidifies. And as you can see, I'm not measuring, I'm just going. And you can do this once it also starts to solidify just a little bit, and then it will kind of sit on the surface. Sometimes, like I said, it forms that skin, and you can't, it just bounces right off. Okay. But I'm already liking how this turned out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. This took, what, probably an hour and a half total, with everything that set up and whatnot. So it is somewhat easy to do once you have your formula, and Pinterest is a great place to come up with ideas. I'm gonna be doing a green tea soap here very soon, a lemon poppy seed. I'm gonna be doing some more of my loofah soaps. And again, I get a lot of my ideas off of Pinterest. It is still like one of my go-to places for recipes, or just general ideas. But yeah, this is all done. I'm so excited. All right, guys, so what do you think of this melt and pour soap? I would like to hear what you guys have to think. or what you guys have to say, and do you guys have any more questions? I'm hoping that I covered everything that you guys have been asking in my previous videos. Now, I was thinking this. Now, I'm gonna have to research this. I do have a lot of clear soap. I love the clear soap. To me, it performs really well. It doesn't dry out. All the ingredients are amazing, but people do like when they hear goat's milk or a specific ingredient like shea butter, oatmeal, that kind of stuff. But I was thinking, what if I took some goat milk and mixed it with my clear soap? I wonder how that would perform, like how would it feel and whatnot. So maybe you might want to play around with that. Like if you get a shea butter block and then you get the goat's milk block. I'm so curious to what would happen if you blended them together. So maybe that'll be my next video. Other than that, I'm going to let these solidify. Then I will go on to my next batch. I only have so much counter space, but I'm just really excited about how all this turned out. So anyways, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And of course, ask your questions. If you would like the recipe to this, to these molds, and then like I said, you can do your additives and whatnot, find me over on my Patreon account where you can get recipes, more behind the scenes information, all that other fun stuff. I will put the link below in the description box as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to make more. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again in my next tutorial.